Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome to City Skylines After Dark. A couple months ago when this game first came out, I did a long playthrough series of a city called LowkoTV. But after a while, I just sort of, steered towards other games, not because I didn't enjoy playing City Skylines anymore, but I just sort of got distracted doing other things. However, today, the expansion called After Dark came out, and a lot of new things have been added to the game. Also, if you actually don't purchase the expansion, you also get a lot of free stuff. But most importantly, we now have a day and night cycle. There's a lot of new added features, and I figured this would be a great time to actually start up a new series. So we're gonna create LowkoTV 2.0. I'm not very creative when it comes to naming right here. But what I'm gonna be doing in this series of videos is play for about an hour and then cut out all of the boring parts so you don't have to sit through it, and so you can actually watch the video without having to sit there for an hour and watch me build all kinds of boring stuff. So the map that I picked right here is actually one of the most popular maps in the workshop. If you're interested in the name, I will leave it down below in the description of the video, because last time I forgot to do so, and a lot of you were wondering what I was playing. Now, I had a quick look around what is exactly going on in this place, and I have to say, this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. So the area where we are starting off with right here is a little place, right next to the highway right here. And we also, most importantly, actually, I could find it last time. Somewhere over here, there was a train. Oh yeah, there we go. There's this train station going around as well. So you can like immediately start making these train tracks as well. Anyways, I'm very excited to be playing this. After a couple minutes of in-game time, especially if I speed up the process, we will start the night, or we will see the nighttime starting to kick in. So yeah, I guess we'll figure everything out as we go, and we will see what's new and what isn't. Alright, so since I'm just starting off in the city, we're gonna have to do a little bit of planning. I'm thinking of making this my first area, like this massive square type thing right here. I guess it's more of a rectangle. So I'm gonna have to steer the motorway right here, at the very least for a little bit. What I do want to do though is make sure that it's straight. Last time I made the mistakes of, actually I don't obviously have those roads available yet, but last time I made the mistake of, not really zoning in very well at all, and we ended up having a pretty messy city all in all. So I'm gonna start off making some straight lines right here, and I think I'm gonna be heading towards the coastline from here. Now, what I am going to be doing in this city a lot, I think, is work with these guidelines. So you see these lines that are being set up automatically? I think I'm going to try and make everything, at least fit remotely well. We tried doing that a little bit in the previous city, but I think we can make things look a heck of a lot better if we focus on it a little bit better. Now, it is my goal to make things look very aesthetically pleasing, so I will be deleting a lot and rebuilding a lot, but I think I like the start right here, at least for now. Alright, so we started off with a bit of a circular area right here, and I did pause the game right now because I don't really want to be messing around with, any of the issues for now. But we're gonna have to set up a water pumping station as well as a water drain pipe. And obviously, I will have to check out the flow of the water for this. Alright, so I got two of the buildings installed right now. First off, we got the water pumping station right here that's pumping clean water into the city. And then we have the water drain pipe that will need to drain the dirty water out of the city. And obviously, we're gonna have to connect these water lines to make sure that everyone will have water. So now that we've got water covered, we are gonna need some electricity as well. And the electricity, I think I'm gonna do as clean as possible. I could be using a coal power plant right now, but I think I'm gonna start up with the wind turbine right away. Now, interestingly enough, we actually have a very nice spot right here for the wind turbine, but that's just a little too far out of reach right now, because I'm also gonna have to connect it towards the water supply. So I'm thinking of actually just putting it right here in the middle. Even though that will look a little funny for now, I think it will be looking okay once we... Actually, I will put it right there for now, but I think we might have to move it a little later and make like an electricity farm up there later. But I think I'm just gonna put it right there. Alright, so that's really all we need for now. We got electricity, we got water, we got a road that we can actually zone into, and it looks like it's already starting to get a little bit darker. But what I'm gonna do is start zoning in a couple of lower residential zones. And I'm gonna be brushing those in right next to the power plant, I think. We have water in this entire area. I did zone it in pretty much everywhere. So we should be okay right here. But our first inhabitants should start moving in. But night is actually falling. Look at that. I haven't seen that before. That is amazing. That's really cool. That looks so good. Wow. That looks amazing. Look at that. So these are the first houses that are being built in LowkoTV 2.0, but look at the graphics. That is amazing. And obviously this is like the most basic of basic things we can have. We got some, what is this? Shrimpy. which is, I guess, one of the... Yeah, it's probably gonna be in one of the... yeah, it's gonna be one of the commercial zones right there. But that looks so amazingly awesome. I love the fact that everything is, like, lit up completely. Feels like Christmas morning. So while it is nighttime currently, and I can't really see exactly where the trees are located, it is gonna be important for me to start adding on some industrial zones right now as well. Alright, so I created a little bit of a grid right here, and I'm gonna be zoning in some of the industrial places. Actually, I'll zone in these two right here. That should be plenty for now. So people will be able to start working. And actually start their industrial zones right there. Alright, so I've been playing for a little bit right here. I expanded the city that we had slightly, just been zoning in more and more areas. It is currently daytime right here, and I've also expanded this area slightly with some extra industrial zones as well. We'll likely make sure that these are at least somewhat separated. I obviously don't want people to get sick. And I think eventually I will be replacing this entire thing for mostly, oh, actually, we got an achievement right here. But I think I will be replacing it for mostly office buildings later on. But we are now a little hamlet. We reached a population of 440. We now can set up taxes, loans, garbage, healthcare, education, landfill sites, medical clinics, and elementary schools. I do think I want to start taking this one a little slower. So I don't want to expand very crazy fast, because I know that's just going to end very badly. So I'm going to be adding on all of those things right here. So first up, we're going to be putting down the landfill site, the medical clinic, and the elementary school as well. And I think that means we'll need to put down some extra roads over here, make it look a little nicer. Okay, it's the medical clinic that we're putting down right now. And I'm also going to be putting down an elementary school, which we don't have any of yet. So I think I'm going to be putting those relatively close together right here. We'll be in the middle of a residential area, so we will be, you know, brushing in some more right now. There we go. Got a lot of it already, actually. And once again, it is nighttime right now. Now, it looks like during the night, actually, a lot of these cars are being parked just right there as well, because obviously people are home. That's pretty insanely cool, though. Look at all of this. That's so awesome. Like, during daytime, you see people move around a lot more, and I know we will be able to put down all kinds of separate buildings as well that are, like, specific for nighttime. I don't know, we can add on, like, prisons, and we have all kinds of different stuff that we can consider adding to the game right now, which is really, really, really badass. Wow, they actually changed this stuff up significantly as well. Normally, you'd be able to manage the economy right here, and you still can, obviously, but it's actually now specialized for day and nighttime, so I can basically make the water and sewage less important during nighttime, which I guess makes sense, right? I guess less people use the, like, you know, water during the nighttime, I can imagine. Okay, looks like we got ourselves a pretty nice little basic city right here. I've been messing around with the taxes a bunch as well, moving these things around because we got way too much water. There's no reason for me to spend so much money on it right now. Also, garbage. I don't think we need that much incineration and whatnot during nighttime, so I guess we'll go ahead and put that pretty low. Also, education during the night. Don't really think we needed that. I upped the taxes a bunch to 12% from, I believe the default was set to 9. And the result right now is that we are, you know, for a small town, making a little bit of money, which is pretty nice. Looks like the amount of purple goo that would usually be around, like, these kind of areas right here, like industrial zones, has been reduced as well. Like, there's still some of it. It's more of like a brownish purple right now, but that looks way better. Look at that. That is some really cool looking industry. Less colorful, a lot more brown, but yeah, definitely a lot more realistic. Awesome. And obviously some of these things that I'm naming off right here may have already been in the game a long time ago, but I just simply, you know, haven't seen them since the latest patches. Alright, so the demand for residential zones is still very high. And also we have some commercial zones that are needed apparently. So what I think I'm gonna do is move over these wind turbines that we couldn't really afford to do earlier, and move them towards the area where there's a lot more wind. So we're gonna be... Hold on, let me have a quick look right here. We're gonna be putting them down right over here. And I'll actually have to, yeah, I'll have to pause right here for a second. Move them to, you know, the place where we want them to be. See, it immediately makes the entire city happy. But obviously we'll have to make sure that everything is connected again, because else we'll have some electricity problems. Shouldn't be that big a deal. We can just run a power line from right around right here and connect it towards the industrial zone, which then, you know, will obviously at its turn connect that towards the city. I think that should work. Yep, that will work beautifully. And it also automatically connects it to the water, I hope. Why is it not connected to the water? So there we go. Nobody's really complaining about the taxes yet, and very shortly we will be hitting the next milestone at 900 inhabitants, which should be right around right now. There we go. So right now we are a worthy village. We have now unlocked the second area that we can go ahead and use. We can now also be zoning in districts, which is very important. Fire department, police departments, unique buildings, foresting specialization, agriculture, all kinds of new stuff. We got a police station, a firehouse as well that we have unlocked. And we can also be putting in policies, obviously, because we do have the districts available right now. Now, I will be using a mod that allows me to unlock all 25 areas. Right now, I will only have available, you know, a couple of them, but I do plan on getting all 25 of them, at least eventually. But for now, I don't really need the other zone yet. I don't really need to worry about that. I am going to be zoning in a district as soon as we, you know, really find a use for it. I'm going to be finishing up this area first, and then we'll go ahead and do exactly that. Alright, so I think I finished all of the roads that I want in this area. They're pretty messy, but I think that will give a more natural look, especially later on when it's completely zoned in. I will be adding in some trees here as well as soon as we have the option to, but I think we're going to be putting down a fire department right around the middle or so of it. And the same goes for a fire or a police department that we'll put back to back right there. There we go. Back to back fire and police department right here. That's pretty cool. Cool. And just to make sure we still have enough ways to get around right here, I've made two one lane or like one directional roads right here. So basically people are forced to go that way. Trying to avoid traffic lights at all costs if I can. There aren't any traffic lights here just yet, so that's exactly what we are looking for. We may have to make like a roundabout here at some point if it really turns out to be necessary, but for now I'm okay with this. Alright, so looks like we got a nicely working village or city right here. I can go ahead and start adding in the districts right now as well. I think I'm gonna have to do that exactly over there because they're apparently already lacking people, and I think that's just because a lot of people don't actually get there, or they have trouble getting there. So we may have to put down some extra ways of navigation very shortly. But I'm gonna be adding in the district right now as well, just to make sure we get everything we need. So I'm gonna at the very least try and not like paint it stupidly fast, and at the very least, you know, have it somewhat tidy, you know, somewhat remotely good looking. So there's my district right now. I have to say the default name that it was given right here, Park, is absolutely beautiful. I don't even know how to call this. If you guys have any suggestions for what I would be calling this first district that we got, and let me know down below the like button in the comment section of this video. I'll have a look to it and we'll be naming this Park in the next episode. So if you have any good suggestions of how we should be calling this district, by all means, let me know. Now, it looks like we already have some issues right here with, apparently some of this becoming abandoned, which is not exactly what we're looking for. So we may have to go ahead and actually we'll get rid of that. There's actually some sort of fire going around right here, but it looks like it's already been fixed. Yeah, we're gonna have to obviously, you know, get like another way of people, or get like another road that people can actually get there to. I think that's the main issue. Or what we could do is just actually expand the residential zones a bunch more and go from there. So one thing that I didn't really do in my previous playthrough was actually upgrade roads towards something that was a little more suitable for the area. So right now that we've unlocked the 6-lane roads, I think it's worth to upgrade, you know, at least a bunch of this to 6-lane roads. So this one right here in the middle, the one that is going to be like the main road, so to say, is already a 6-lane road. I may very well make this a highway later on, but we'll see about that. We have a 4-lane road going on right here, which actually looks a bunch different as well. It looks a lot wider than I remember it. But that's good. That at the very least gives me some way of like managing traffic. It will add on traffic lights right here. So we'll see how important that is really going to be. But I think it's good for us to worry about that right now, because later on it's going to be a hassle. Now, I'm not really able to upgrade these roads because, hey, there's just simply not enough room here. So I'm gonna have to get a little messy, I'm afraid, in order to actually make this one work. Okay, so it turns out we cannot put either we can't put two 4x4 lanes or 4-lane roads next to each other, but also not two 6-lane roads next to each other. So I think what we may actually end up doing here is have one elevated 6-lane road, like one step elevated, so not that high, that will have different exits. So we'll have this as like our main hub, so to say. I hope that will be something that we can do. I don't have motorways available yet, but that shouldn't actually be that big an issue either. I'm just gonna have to find a way to connect this in there. Now this turns out to be a little trickier than I thought, because we don't have motorways available. I'm a little worried to actually be deleting any of this. I don't actually know if these are motorways or like highways. I think they are. It's a little too risky right now, because they're not nearly as thick as those 6-lane roads. Like they're a little slimmer, but they're not 2-lane roads, that's for sure. And I can't actually connect this in like a pretty manner right now. It's just gonna look really wonky. I think we just have to make it look wonky for now. Alright, I guess this will do for now. That actually took way longer than I anticipated, because I've got a little bit of a in a perfectionist mood right there for a second, but I think this will do, and we may have to like end up replacing it a little later. But at the very least we got something that will be functional and that we can use to, you know, actually build upon. Because we had some issues right there, but I think this should make things a lot easier. Alright, so that concludes episode number 1 of Lowkopia 2.0 in City Skylines After Dark. Definitely a very fun game. Great to be playing this again. I am looking forward. I've got a ton of great ideas that I want to execute with the city. The main goal though is gonna be to make it look as great as possible while still being very functional. So I think we want to try and maybe get 100,000 inhabitants or something like that. But I'm very happy with the way this is looking so far. Very, very cool. Also, the nighttime is looking amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button down below so you'll get a notification when I upload another one. And in the meantime, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one.